Hey, what's up, y'all? This your boy, So No Worries, and we're back again with another cultural commercial review. All right, so let's get into it. I am your humble host, Steven So No Worries. So no worries, because we're finna get into some great content, and I really hope you guys like this video. Please, if you do, like, subscribe, and share. It really helps me out, so I really appreciate it. All right, so without further ado, the topic of tonight, the title of tonight's show, essentially, you see it in the YouTube thumbnail, whatever I decide to end up calling this, but it is about Tracee Ellis Ross and Pattern Beauty, her company, her brand that she founded. They just put out a new commercial. Y'all see it, Tracee Ellis Ross reunites girlfriend's cast in Pattern commercial. So she then brought back the whole entire core cast of the girlfriends, all of the sisters, in order to make this commercial spot happen. That's how important she felt that this commercial, her first commercial, was for this brand. So this is a channel we talk about commercials, especially featuring black, culturally relevant people of the world, so to say, or the people who are in entertainment. And so it's important that we analyze this, especially people who are small business owners who are trying to find their grounding in today's marketing. It's good to pull from people who are in the industry, who are doing things, because they oftentimes have the biggest data set on what's going to work. So we're bringing this to you. I'm bringing this to you because I care about you. I'm a film director, and I want you to understand the power and potency of having commercials on social media, on TV, playing everywhere about your brand and about your business. If the people who you love in Hollywood, who you aspire to be, who you look up to, who you admire, who you respect, are doing certain things in the business world, it's a great time to look and peep game and see what they're doing and how you can adapt that to your own business or to your own playbook, no matter what you're doing. And so without further ado, I don't want to waste too much time. I want to get into this commercial so that we can analyze. All right, so check this out. The girlfriends are back.
Well.
Did they say this was an open bar? I'm just...
Golden, what are you doing?
My curls fell. Golden, you're supposed to slay the house down, not lay down.
Is that a thirst trap?
Relax, I got this. Curling iron.
Wait, I didn't know you had a curling iron too.
Yeah, we do.
Look at that.
Pattern's got something for everybody.
I'm not driving.
That was dope. Okay, I want to start all over again, just to run it back. And this has been brought to you by Show Blacks. Please follow Show Blacks on TikTok. We are the culture when it comes to commercials. When it comes to advertisement, on TV, on social media, streaming platforms, through cable networks, it is our job to source and find commercials that star and feature people who are relevant, or people and businesses and brands who are emerging within the culture. That is our duty, right? To essentially highlight and showcase black creativity from all people, white, purple, pink, blue, Hispanic, whatever you identify as, whatever you are. If you are adding positively to the ecosystem or the atmosphere of black creativity, we're going to showcase you as Show Blacks. I think that's just what's important, especially and specifically around commercials, because it's so pivotal that brands that are black led, have black CEOs or black founders, or like in the Red Lobster case, present themselves in an endearing light through social media, through creative spots. So let's watch this. Let's watch this commercial and kind of just dissect it this time.
Well.
So I already got the hook in. Boom, in a few seconds, doorbell rings. Well. Tracee Ellis Ross turns around, and we getting into it.
Did they say this was an open bar?
Golden, what are you doing?
My curls fell. Golden, you're supposed to slay the house down, not lay down.
Is that...
And I love the play on the girlfriend's cast, where essentially it's like the Girlfriends TV show. They're not trying to even separate worlds, or they're essentially saying, hey, this is the Girlfriends cast. Y'all already know about them. Y'all know who they are. Y'all know their personalities. And they were able to parlay that into this commercial. And I felt like they did this so well, where it felt frictionless. What Tracee Ellis Ross put together, as you see, as the pattern chief CURLtender. I like that. It's dope. She's very creative, as we know. You know, Miss Diana Ross's daughter. So she's not gonna play when it comes to her work. But what I'm trying to articulate with this commercial that she put out is that she knew what was going to work on her first commercial. She said she's already talked about this in Ad Week, and I'm gonna bring y'all to that article. But understand that creating these commercials is tantamount to companies that really don't have large private equity investments, but they do have a level of notoriety. These commercials bring presence to a beauty and a cosmetic space and hair care space that is a multi-billion dollar industry. So you got to come correct. So, I mean, let's play it again.
This is an open bar. I'm just...
Golden, what are you doing?
My curls fell. Golden, you're supposed to slay the house down, not lay down.
Is that a thirst trap?
Relax, I got this. Curling iron.
Wait, I didn't know you had a curling iron too.
Yeah, we do.
Look at that.
Pattern's got something for everybody.
I'm not driving.
Hey, so you see it. So I think that's important because she's representing for the culture, right? Bringing her brand to us in a way that resonates with us. We're all fans of Tracee Ellis Ross. We're all fans of the cast members of Girlfriends, and we appreciate the art that Tracee and the team brought during the Girlfriends era. It made a profound impact on the culture because people needed to see how girlfriends live who were post-college out there hustling, working, doing their thing, like out there making it, in their career fields. And Girlfriend gave us a perfect insight, probably the best, all female led type of TV show that we've had, especially for the culture. I don't know what else other shows outside of, A Different World. Moesha could follow up, some of the stuff like Kyla Pratt did with One on One. Like I said, Moesha, That's So Raven. There's been a few shows that were female led by phenomenal women who are actresses, but there wasn't enough. But when this show came around, especially, the core of the 2000s era, man, it was a banger. And so her putting out a commercial with Pattern is important because it's a hair care line. So let's read what she has to say about this commercial in Ad Week. And essentially, I really want to quote here what she's talking about in terms of why I decided to do the commercial. So actress Tracee Ellis Ross, and this is by Elena Cavender, the article she wrote. Actress Tracee Ellis Ross launched her hair care brand Pattern just shy of 6 years ago. So this is a fairly new business in terms of you trying to do real business, fairly new. Just shy of 6 years ago with the intention of making products designed to be layered and mixed together without flaking or peeling. A styling ritual known as cocktailing. So you see the whole commercial plays into the cocktail bar experience, lounge experience, right? So this practice is at the center of the brand's first commercial. The 60-second spot sees Ellis Ross as the chief CURLtender serving up hair care cocktails to castmates from Girlfriends. It was directed by Child. Now, this whole Child director, honestly, I've seen artists like her start out with anonymity, who are anonymous, who don't want to be revealed. But I've never seen a director who says, I want to direct in Hollywood or be a filmmaker. I've never seen a director be anonymous. It's almost like how people discover you. So I'm not in this video, but on my own time, I'm going to figure out who this Child person is. How do you get to direct a Tracee Ellis Ross video? She's done work with Doja Cat and a lot of other people. If you look at her Instagram, it's real petite. I believe this is a her. Now, it may be a man or a person who, considers themselves something else, which is perfectly fine. But I truly don't know if this is a man, woman, or I believe this to be a woman, right? And so this person right here, Child, the artist, is essentially being able to produce work in an anonymous fashion. And so we don't know really who this person is. I'm sure if I do my research, I can find out. But that's very interesting that she brings in someone who's like, it's like, I gotta know someone who knows somebody. I gotta have connections for this role. This wasn't an all bid role. This wasn't a bid party role where they send it out to 100 directors or however many directors the agency wants to work with, and they say, all right, make a pitch for this commercial. No, they was like, we're gonna go to this person, Child. All right, so Child, and it's produced with Attention, the agency, and Della, Revolucion, and Pretty Bird. The TV commercial breaks away from Pattern's digital first approach. Right, it will run across streaming platforms. Thank you. I love this part. Look, the TV commercial breaks away from Pattern's digital first approach. That is like Keith Lee on his back. This is important because a lot of people think I gotta have TikTok viral, I gotta have TikTok, I gotta have Instagram Reels, I gotta have the first 3 seconds, I gotta have. People are losing their minds because they don't know how to produce content that feels organic but is coming across as a sales, a sales pitch, or you're trying to come across as a brand that you want people to buy your product or services. And a lot of people right now don't know, especially small businesses, black-owned businesses, are struggling on the internet how to come across relatable and organic like influencers can for their own business. What Tracee Ellis Ross says, we're overthinking it. We can do a mix of both, which she's done. But right here, the TV commercials break away from Pattern's digital first approach, which means that she would probably just be posting content on TikTok and posting content on Instagram and Twitter and kind of just running this digital. She was like, no, we're going to put this on TV. We the girlfriends. If I'm going to bring out the girlfriends, this needs to be on TV. Astute call, Tracee. It will run across streaming platforms including Roku, Hulu, Disney Plus, and Paramount Plus. So everywhere, essentially. She don't want you to miss it. Her commercial for Pattern Beauty is going to essentially be on all the streaming platforms that people care to be on, outside of Netflix that, really isn't deep right now into the advertising game, right? And so, boom. She's got her and identify her platforms where black people are on Hulu, urban cultures on Hulu, diverse people are on Hulu, Disney, Paramount Plus, Roku. All these apps, from these companies present itself to the urban culture because they're accessible, right? And, it's a lot cheaper to spend $15 to $20 on Disney and a Hulu Plus package or something like that versus paying $80 for cable for shows that you may or may not watch. So the campaign also includes paid and organic social media. Secondary, it also includes paid and organic social media. So I think business owners, small business owners you can replicate Tracee Ellis Ross' success on your own level, right? You have to think of your brand in a way where now everybody's doing TikTok, Instagram Reel, Instagram Will, trying to come across organic, but it's really just coming across like you're trying to sell a product and people are kind of getting fatigued by it. Now the creativity might have to come back. Now people actually being creative, copywriting, art directing, producing, cinematography, blocking, directing, lighting, who's part of the cast, who you basically bring aboard your production is starting to creep its way back as people are just inundated with this fake organic approach where people are just like scroll. Oh, another. It's becoming like, okay, everybody then moved over here and forgot about the art. But it's not to say that it's not important. It's still vital and quintessential. So the campaign still needs to include paid and organic social media. Why wouldn't you? If you've got a good commercial, why wouldn't you put it in all of the places? So shouts out for Tracee and the team for putting it in all places. Because that's important. You got to put your commercial in all places, not just on social media, but you got to put it on TV too. So I really appreciate Tracee Ellis Ross being a leader for women, particularly with hair care products, to understand this is how you market and advertise your business. Boom. So the campaign, is essentially, the campaign also includes paid and organic social media with the clips of the commercial, behind the scenes videos and interviews. For the life of me, and I'm sure people on LinkedIn talk about this all the time. For the life of me, I don't understand when major corporations go out and shoot $300, $400, $500, up to $1 million in worth of commercial production cost with their budget, and they don't plaster all of their behind the scenes. They don't show their hand. They just here's the commercial, just take it, and we've got millions of dollars to run on ads, so you're gonna see it anyways. They don't take the time to craft the commercial experience for modern day social media. A lot of brands will be like, well, I can't afford a commercial. I don't know if I'm gonna be an ROI commercial. You could get a ton of ROI if you start posting the content around the commercial, the behind the scenes, the interviews of people who are starring in the commercial, why they wanted to be a part of it, why did you do the commercial. There's so many facets of the commercial that you can tie into it to make it very abundant for any platform you're going on. But a lot of brands and agencies for too long have been like, oh, we're going to shoot this nice commercial, and we've got this director and this agency doing it, and blah, 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 and Ad Week and Ad Age, they'll do a write-up and so, but they won't endear themselves to the landscape of people on social media who oftentimes feel neglected by these major corporations because everything is about being behind the veil. Oh, we're going to have all these people work. We're going to have 30, 40 people on set working, but we won't talk to the people and bring them to social media so that it feels like a world or a haven, a safe haven for creatives to get their work off, to showcase who they are and their power in terms of what they brought to the production. And so I appreciate Issa Rae, and maybe she didn't do this big, we don't have to do tutorials or big technical breakdowns. Just show us, just like the streamers are doing right now. Just like all the streamers are doing right now, they're just showing their in real life content. A lot of these agencies got to get off their high horse, got to get off this pretentiousness, this I was at cons, all this, I was at all the latest events and stuff like that. Like, no, we don't care as the audience no more. We want to see more. We want to see the creativity at its highest level that you can produce, but we also want to see the organic that you can bring. It's like the commercial can be the steak, but the social media is the fries, or it's the asparagus, or it's whatever side that's pertinent. I don't want to just eat a burger by itself. Give me some fries. Give me some tater tots. Give me some onion rings. It's important to rounding out the meal. So a lot of brands, especially small businesses, have said, oh, the hell with commercials and paying for that. I don't got the money, because they've neglected and they've often not worked with people who know how to introduce that commercial spot, not only on TV, but introduce that commercial spot on social media platforms where it's more digestible for an audience that's just scrolling. If you feel me, do you feel me? Am I speaking anything clearly, in this 18 minutes about this campaign? Anybody who been a part of the production, anybody who works around Tracee and the team, anybody who's out there who understands commercial, how to make commercials, being a part of commercials, how to produce commercial spots. Are you feeling me? Because I just think we've overcomplicated making commercials to the point where now people want to make commercials with AI. I don't think you got to do that. So essentially, she's turned this hair care product around. Let's finish out this article. So the campaign appears on Pattern's e-commerce site with a landing page where each type of product is assigned a cocktail name. So she's integrated the commercial. Tracee Ellis Ross has integrated this Pattern Beauty commercial, and she's made it seamless to show on TV, which is the top of the funnels, is going to bring in most of the viewers depending on how much she's going to spend per the cost to acquire an individual impression. So she's want a 10,000 impressions. She's probably got to put a few $1,000s. If you want 1 million impressions, got to put 100K. It can become expensive, but it's quintessential because the eyes on TV that you get from putting a commercial on TV, think about it. You can't scroll past it. So when you see a commercial on Hulu, on Tubi, on Disney, and Paramount, you can't skip it. So if you're in the middle of watching a show and it's a cliffhanger or it's a dope moment or you just can't wait to continue watching it, and boom, a commercial ad comes on, You not likely to get up and leave. You're not likely to get on your phone. You likely just to watch the commercial. That's why in small businesses, this is game time. You can get on TV. You can get on these platforms. It doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. You just have to work with people who understand how to utilize these platforms. And so she's touched all bases. She didn't just say, I'm going to create a commercial and then we'll just see how I do it. I'll put some ad dollars on it. I'm not going to show no behind this. No, she said, we're going to do it all the right way. And I appreciate that because it's an example. So, it appears on the commerce site with a landing page where each type of product is assigned a cocktail nickname. For example, heat tools are branded as garnishes. So she's really playing, on the naming conventions of her products to really give people something that they could adhere to in terms of what they like. So turning hair care products into cocktails. The commercial revolves around the play on words of the hair care. Like I said, the hair care practice of cocktailing with Ellis Ross acting as the bartender for hair. The term was the kernel that led to the narrative of the ad. So, popcorn moment, so to say. All right. And so the various cocktails ordered throughout the commercial highlight different pattern products. We wanted to find a way to merge the world of hair care as self-care, cocktailing, and comedy, Ellis Ross told Adweek. Now, I want to get into the second half of this article, okay? The cast of girlfriends, because I think this is very important. If you've been rocking with me this far, I really appreciate it because it is a longer video because it's a breakdown. It's an analysis, right? The cast of girlfriends helped bring comedy to the ad. The idea to include them came to Ellis Ross in bed, and it wasn't until they were on set that she realized this year marks the 25th anniversary of the series. So she tied this around, wow. So she's layered. She's essentially look, she's in an inception mindset right now where she's understanding how to parlay off of her past work and its relevance still today and how to merge that in with her brand. Chef's kiss. All right. The idea to include them came to Ellis Ross in bed, and it wasn't until they were on set that she realized this year marks the 25th anniversary of the series. Making a commercial and working with a director was a different experience than the photographers Pattern had worked with. I got to zoom this in because this is important. This is very important. Tracee Ellis Ross said about the Pattern beauty commercial, making a commercial and working with a director was a different experience than the photographers Pattern has worked with for past campaigns. It was important that the director had an authentic passion and understanding of the textured hair community, and Ellis Ross found that in the director. So Child, the director, right? When you're doing a brand campaign, usually you're telling a story through imagery, and you don't necessarily need the full breadth of the story, said Ellis Ross. But this is one of the places where I, from my other life as an actress and producer, have a lot of experience. The commercial coincides with Ellis Ross' forthcoming solo travel show called Solo Traveling with Tracee Ellis Ross on Roku. So she's already cross-promoting the show that she has in tandem with this commercial spot. So it's a shoppable version of the ad will be running during the airing of the show. Dope. One of the reasons I did the show on Roku is they were offering technology where you can actually buy products with your remote control and cocktailing within the show, said Ellis Ross. All right, so we're almost done, but I don't want to be remiss here because I think this is so important to talk about in this segment, right? Making a commercial. What Tracee Ellis Ross said about her Pattern beauty commercial was that making a commercial and working with the director was a different experience than the photographers Pattern has worked with for past campaigns. Let me allow you as a director, as an actual commercial director. So let me tell you something, Linda. Let me tell you something. Let me put you on game what she's saying. A lot of brands, oftentimes on social media, especially smaller, emerging, or up and coming brands, often just say, "I'm not going to do a commercial. It's cost too much. It's too much hassle. I don't want to work with an agency. I don't want to get in all this red tape and all this onboarding stuff." It scares the heck out of small business owners, right? Even those business owners who are having emerging products because they have resources and capital, like Tracee Ellis Ross, often like the Pinky Coils of the world. We haven't seen a slutty vegan commercial, have we, on TV? I don't believe so. It's not that they don't have content, it's that they don't have the cinematic palette of storytelling that people have been used to seeing for decades. Now it's gone away because people just want to create vertical 9x16 content, which is okay, but it's going to leave a major part of your storytelling amiss in terms of being able to take what your business is about, capture it in 15 to 30 seconds, and place it on places where eyes are at. And so a lot of small business owners have negated TV and streaming platforms putting their commercials on there because they're just like, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Oh, you're missing out. You are missing out on money. No one cares about a product that they don't know. We don't care how good it is. If we don't know it, we don't see it. No one cares about those products. So essentially what she's saying is that we had photographers, people who could shoot photos and do commercial photography, take great photos of the product, great lighting, great creative style of the product. We've had people to photographer models holding the product, doing their hair with the product. But for this approach, we needed storytelling. And that's what I'm trying to say. She essentially is giving y'all small business owners a parlay play right here. Think about creating commercials that give a resonance for your brand. Think about commercials in a way that can help translate and communicate visually what your brand is, why it's necessary, why it's cool, why it's fun, right? So she says it was important that the director had an authentic and passionate understanding of the text. The director, the photographer, as great as photographers are, and although they will direct you on set in terms of the photography space, are not the same as a visual director where you're doing 30 frames, per second or whatever. Like, you're essentially, a photographer may take one picture, a director's constantly rolling pictures. It's a constant capture of pictures as a director. So you have to have the breadth of being able to tell a story within each frame. This is where you see the doorbell. This is where you see Tracee Ellis Ross turning around to the camera. Each frame, each second of the frame represents really an essential part of the story. And you can only get that through someone who actually works as a director. So when you're, essentially, it was important that they found the right director who had a passion. And a lot of you brands, a lot of directors will hit y'all up trying to work with y'all, and y'all won't even have a conversation with them. Y'all won't talk to them. Y'all won't hear their pitches. Everything just becomes money and will it make me ROI? Y'all not thinking like long-term business owners. Y'all thinking like y'all finna run a play. Like y'all thinking like this is the casino and you can just take money and hit it, like, and go home. No, you genuinely have to care about people and their overall mentality around creativity, which is essentially people who know how to tell authentic stories. And so I without getting into too much more of this point, quintessentially is, if you're a business owner, creating a commercial is the MVP of your advertising. It showcases to investors, consumers, clients, why you matter in 15 to 30 seconds without having to go through 9 different TikToks or go to your website and read something that's elongated about why this is good. The commercial does it in one swoop, right? So when you're doing a brand campaign, usually you're telling a story through still imagery, and you don't necessarily need the full breadth of the story, said Ellis Ross. But this is one of the places where I, from my other life as an actress and a producer, have a lot of experience. So basically said, look, we're going to do it right anyways. I'm someone who has worked in film and production, so I understand the experience of crafting a good commercial. Other people may not. So that's why it's important to work alongside people as a business owner who understand this experience so they can help you out with your business. The commercial coincides with Ellis Ross' forthcoming blah, blah, blah. We already read that. And so the campaign goal is to help transition Pattern from a startup to a legacy brand to promote the breadth of the brand's products. At Ellis Ross, consumer research from focus groups, social media, and other data reveal that the Pattern has the opportunity to increase awareness with the textured hair community. According to Pattern, retail sales are up 25% year to date compared to last year, making now an opportune time to run its first campaign. So a lot of business owners, I'm not telling you, oh, in your first month or even your first year of having your product to just go create a commercial. But some of y'all are 3, 4, 5 years in and are starting to hit a plateau with posting on social media. Some of y'all got 65, 70, 80, 100,000 followers on your page, and you make a post about your brand that's supposed to come across as organic or day in the life, and you can't even get 100 likes. And you got 100,000 followers. It's not the algorithm. People are like, oh, that's too easy for you now. People are getting used to you coming to them thinking that, oh, if I just post once a day and I just post, here's my product and here's how to use it and here's my kid. People are like, boring. Because they can tell you're not putting enough fuel, you're not putting enough oil to really make them feel like you care. You're just trying to do what you think the audience wants to see, but you're doing it in a way where you're not investing. It's like how the streamers now have to invest in their streaming. If to make it pop, make it cool, you got to spend money. And a lot of other business owners are kind of just like, playing it safe. And the audience is telling you, the consumers who you want to spend with your brand are telling you what they want. We want something that's different. And that's what Tracee Ellis Ross, she could have done a whole campaign and spent less money doing photos and trying to get influencers and all. She could have did a whole, she's like, nah, let's knock it out in one punch with a commercial. So her sales are up. It's time to run that campaign. So a lot of y'all who are seeing, okay, a real good brother who did this well, and I'm going to break his stuff down too. That's going to be another video, is Black Smoke. The hookah company that's basically fruit hookah. Is no nicotine, no additives, none of that harsh stuff. It's just fruit hookah. You inhale it and smoke it like a regular vape pen, but it's all natural fruit. He put out a commercial that looks really, really well done for his brand. It's Black Smoke or Black Tatted. Yeah. Black Tatted put out a commercial similar to what Tracee Ellis Ross did for Pattern Beauty. But what he did was he brought in all the who's of influencers, of social media, people who a lot of people jive with. And so he created that, and he don't have Tracee Ellis Ross cachet or resources or connections in Hollywood. He was just like, look, it's cool just to do all of this social media, TikTok posts, but we got to craft something that can be shown on TV as well. We can't miss out on that. And I think I love seeing that, especially from Black business owners, because it taps into the full breadth and storytelling of your brand. So Ellis Ross said that she doesn't want Pattern to rely on launching new products for growth and brand awareness. So she's essentially saying, I don't want to have to create a new product every time in order to bring awareness. I want to just be able to repurpose it. So instead, she aims to familiarize her consumers with existing products in a strategy called launchification, positioning products as new with full-scale marketing campaigns. For example, a campaign about Pattern's curl gel treatment grew direct-to-consumer sales by 200%. The ideal on the larger scale is really what informed the commercial, said Ellis Ross. If that's working on a one product strategy, then we can do that in a larger way that really represents the whole full brand and narrative of the brand. So appreciate the write down, Elena Cavender. Follow me on Show Blacks or at So No Worries, or do both if you are watching this video, because I really liked your written article here on Adweek. And so that's it in a nutshell. And so as we look at places like, LinkedIn, it's viral on LinkedIn. Everybody's talking about it on LinkedIn. Everybody, essentially is like, hey, this is dope. Look at all the people talking about it. So a lot of y'all who are just like, I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube. If you don't got boy, you better get on, because this content right now gets in front of decision makers, investors, people who have money, people who have opportunities are on LinkedIn. So if you don't post your brand's commercial or its work on LinkedIn, or you're not active on LinkedIn, you're missing out. Don't let nobody tell you different. Oh, LinkedIn boring. All the people who are stressing out about jobs, I understand, I hear you, but that don't mean don't utilize a tool. Just because it might not be working for you today, it could be for you tomorrow. So you see the commercial flying all over LinkedIn. So to me, that's what's important. Because Tracee, and as we wrap up and get into those of you who stayed, you type her in on Twitter, like, and look at the content. This was the content around the commercial. So as a brand, as a small business who is like, well, how do I make my commercial? Do BTS around the commercial. Everything that happened, the lead up to the shoot, the makeup, hair, wardrobe, everything. Just showcase the behind the scenes.
There's an arrival of a special guest.
I like how they showing their age and they run. They like waddling. They happy because they ain't been working together. They ain't been working together in years, so it's like they happy to be on set. Look at the energy.
Chili chill. Okay, it looks so good.
I mean, look at the energy. And this is the type of content that you have got to post around your commercial. Brands, agencies, big agencies, WPP, the 72 and Sunnies of the world, all the Goodbye and Silverstein, all when you got your art directors, creative directors, and strategists, all the people you've got in your office, I got to make sure we've got so much content around the commercial that can be on social media that makes people want to run to their TVs and watch the ad. Make people just go click on any damn show and try to find this ad because you've built a social media presence about the commercial, not something adjacent or just the product itself or this, POV. Look, I'm doing my hair and no, the energy that this brings cannot be recreated by some influencer sitting down in their bedroom in front of their ring light talking about the product. It just can't. So start thinking about, how do I incorporate the cast and crew on the production to be a part of the behind the scenes to help push the actual TV commercial so that people want to see it? So I really appreciate that. And so honestly, we've ran through it all. So I appreciate y'all for, being here for this commercial review. We're going to keep these coming. They're going to get better. They're going to get more enhanced. They're going to get more visually, striking. I'm going to really take this and bring this also to people who created it. Like, if I was someone who's popping and had millions of followers and I had access to Tracee Ellis Ross, I'd bring the whole cast and crew and sit them down like this was a movie. I would sit them, you know how they be doing those movie premieres and you sit down with the cast and you interview them and you talk out. This is what I would start doing for commercials. You want your commercial to pop, start treating it like a film. Because if they did a film and did a movie, right, starring these four beautiful sisters, they were going to have all type of press run. I'm saying make the press run for commercials now before AI comes in and takes over. This is how you give the proverbial middle finger to AI and say, you can't recreate this energy through fake people, through generated people. You can't recreate this energy because we grew up with these people. These people are part damn near of our blood, our DNA, because we grew up with them. They're part of us psychologically, how we think, our culture, our reasoning. So if I was the big producer on this, or I had access to Tracee Ellis Ross and her team, I would say, let's sit down and have a conversation and treat it like it's a film, And we're going to interview you, talk about the commercial, the idea, talk about why you decided to cast the entire Girlfriends cast and what brought you to it. What were the complications of it? What were your worries? Did you think someone wasn't going to pop up? Would you think someone wasn't going to want to do it? Talk to us. That's what I would be doing. And brands can do this on their own level now, too, on their own small level. Just give the theme like it's a film and watch the audience be like, oh, my gosh, this is so cool. Like, oh, my God, because people won't be bored of the same I just got this in the box, and like wink wink, I'm getting paid to do this. I really don't buy this product, but I got this in the box today, and so we're gonna try it out. Let's go to my bathroom. Like people see enough of that. People see enough of that. So I think presenting your commercials in a film-esque way is a surefire way to get views. And people are like, what? It was a movie or what? What was going? Think about it. If they had did this and rolled it out almost like it was a movie. What? Let me go. Oh my gosh, it would have compounded the views because people would have just. Oh boy, don't let me work with y'all. Y'all agencies, y'all got somebody because it's too easy. These are layups. These are Kyrie Irving layups in terms of understanding how to produce and work within a space where you need to understand how to move your commercial, how to distribute your commercial. You've got to know how to distribute your commercial. It's not good enough to do photography or take videos or do in the shop video. People want stories now. People want genuine, good stories that are creative. Because now anybody can get on TikTok and make a review of a product that they've been sent or that they're sponsored by. People now want something different. You see it. Y'all see. I'm not lying to y'all. I'm not here capping. Look, I'm not out here capping. I'm not out here capping to y'all. Look, listen. You see those influencers who've got 300,000, 400,000, a normal video of them just goofing around, having fun, doing whatever's in their niche, 10,000 likes, 500 comments, and 2K share. They start doing a sponsored video, they might as well have a fraction of the followers they have. Because people are like, another. But if they did something like this where it feels like they're starring in a commercial, I want to bring you behind the scenes of a commercial. I want to bring like, I'd be long-winded. We'd be here all night. I'm inclined to just keep going just so I can get it all out and tell y'all exactly how I feel. But I have to save that for other videos because I don't want to give up the what they be doing in Hollywood, 2.5, 3 minute trailer. You basically didn't gave us the movie in the trailer, and I don't want to do that for y'all. But you see where I'm going with this. Phenomenal commercial from Tracee Ellis Ross and the team. Really appreciate the work y'all did because it allowed me to break this down. It has brought me gratitude. And so without further ado, once again, please like and subscribe to my channel if you can. If you found this video entertaining or you found it helpful at all, let me know in the comments what you think. So I appreciate y'all once again. Peace. So no worries.